Alright, Scorpio or Scorpio cross watcher. Before I started this video, I was sitting with you guys' energy. You can also reverse this, and I got something along the lines of, we have an individual here, whether this is you or another, for those this will resonate with, who is either thoroughly re-examining a situation or examining period, like in general. Okay? And then I heard something along the lines of, this is harder than I thought, or this will be harder than I thought. This is going to be more difficult than I thought. Whatever that means. Now, this could be something very small. This could be someone who just had a baby or now has had 2 children, 3 children, like they're adding on to their family. I say they, but it could be you. It could be someone on the outside of you too. Just take it as it resonates. And someone's like, man, this is harder than I thought being a parent, or this is harder than I thought being a single parent. This is harder than I thought to, maybe it's a teenager who just turned an adult and they're moving out on their own, or they're thinking about it and they're like, man, this is harder than I thought to pay the bills, to pay the insurance and the cell phone. This is, man, mom and dad were right. It could be that simple. It doesn't have to be anything serious, okay? Because I feel it in a bunch of ways here. Buying a home for the first time, or already having bought one, but then keeping up with everything you have to keep up with. This is harder than I thought, owning a home as opposed to living in an apartment or something, you know? Those type things. So think along those lines, but I'm going to twist this down the line a little bit, because I'm thinking here, well, let's throw out an example. Let's say there's somebody in a relationship or a long-term marriage, or maybe it's not long-term, but a committed relationship. Someone here may be like, I know they've had some sort of an epiphany. I know that I want to be with someone else, or I know that I don't want to be with this person. Somebody may be thinking, this is going to be harder than I thought to in this marriage. I'm going to go through hell. They're going to take me for everything I've got, or I'm gonna have to deal with the kids or the grandkids. It's just going to be very difficult. I'm going to have to deal with my family, their family, property, things like that. Like if this doesn't work out, or when this doesn't work out, this is going to be very difficult. This could be someone who is interested in somebody new, and they're like, I really like this person, but this is going to be harder than I thought, because they're not just going to let me in. Maybe somebody's interested in you, and they've been, I don't know, wanting you, but then upon like examining you further, they're like, man, this is going to be more difficult than I thought. Like, this is like, there's some sort of level of, oh, this isn't going to be as easy as I believed, or as I thought. You know, this is going to be difficult. Now, it could have somebody here who's like, what did I write? Something is causing someone to thoroughly examine or re-examine. Going back to the relationship situation, let's say we have somebody in a relationship here, and I don't know, there's issues, like something's gone down, something's gone on, or this is coming, and one of the partners is like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. This is harder than I thought. Okay, there could also be someone here who just found out, or will be finding out, that someone's getting married, someone's getting with someone new, someone's in a relationship now, someone's in love with somebody now, or I don't know, someone's expanding their family now, having a baby, something. Somebody could find out about another person's good news and then be like, well, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was over them. I thought it wouldn't affect me at all, or I thought I didn't care. If it's not like an over them type thing, I thought I didn't care. I thought it wouldn't affect me the way that it is, but it's really affecting me. Maybe someone passes and someone's like, well, I was kind of prepared for it, or maybe someone wasn't prepared at all, but it's like, oh, this is really difficult. This is very hard to get through. This is rough. So let me be more broad. Let's say broad. Let's be more broad here, because this can go so many ways. I would love to hone in on specifics like I kind of did in Libras, but I feel like this is not meant, this message isn't meant to be specific. I may get a few specifics in the message, but I think this message for you guys, Scorpio, is more about, or crosswatcher, is more about well, Let me give an example. One thing popping in my head is learning a foreign language. While it is attainable, and while it is something that would be very beneficial to do, it's not easy. It takes time. Could take money, depending on how you're learning it. It could take a lot of energy, focus, determination, repetition, a lot of having to go over the same thing over and over again, which is how you remember things. So it's going to take work. You know, something here is definitely going to take some work. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to happen super easily, but it's definitely going to be beneficial once it does. That's how I want to say this. So maybe don't focus so much on specifics like the ones I threw out when I first started this video. Focus more on something here, whether perceived as positive or negative, being work, but with intention, determination, focus, and so much more. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of something. It's going to take a lot of some things, like a lot more than one thing. It's going to just take a whole lot. Maybe even I'm hearing of convincing, but it's definitely worth it. It's one of those things that, like, once it's finally achieved, whatever it is, whatever that goal is that somebody has, whether it's leaving somebody, whether it's having a baby, whether it's buying a house, whether it's convincing someone of something, I don't know. I don't want to give specifics. It'll be one of those things that you look back on, if this isn't you, someone else, something that they look back on and it's like, I'm so glad I did it. Like, again, I mentioned this in Libras, my sobriety date tomorrow. My soberversary is tomorrow on Mother's Day. It happens to fall on Mother's Day this year again, so I'm really excited. And it's been 5 years since I quit drinking alcohol. It's been work, but I can look back and be like, oh my God, this is so worth it. Like, I cannot think, there's not a minute, a moment, a memory of me being like, oh, I miss drinking. I don't even sort of miss drinking, ever. Like, water will suffice. Water is just as good, if not better. You know what I mean? Like, it does a lot more for me. It's like that. But it's like the initial type getting through it. It's like when you're piercing someone or you're piercing yourself. Some of you have pierced yourself or tattooed yourself, or you're really into piercings and tattoos. Either way, I'm getting a visual of somebody piercing now. And it's like getting through one of those, like a conch or a rook or a daith on your ear, right? Or when you're gauging your ears. That shit ain't easy and it takes time. You know what I mean? It's like changing the color on your hair. If you're lifting hair, it takes a while. It's a process. This is going to be a process. And it's like getting through that thick ass cartilage and hearing it pop and oh God, and then the fucking healing process. You know, the healing is always the worst of anything. You know, like my mom healing right now from knee replacement surgery. She's going to be having another one in a couple of months. That shit ain't easy. When someone passes, getting over that, you know, it's not an overnight thing, but it's like in the end, there's so many things learned from it and so many things that will be seen that in the moment can't be seen, but it will be achieved. This is one of those things where it's like, if you want to, you will achieve it. If you knock, the door will be opened. If you don't knock, nobody's going to know you're standing there. This could also be advice for somebody. If someone here has been thinking of doing something, pursuing someone, the advice here would be do it. Go ahead and do it. You're never going to know until you try, until you say that thing, until you go after it. It's absolutely worth it. Is it going to be easy? Not necessarily, especially if change occurs, because people don't like change, and maybe you're ready for something that other people or another person is not ready for. They don't want that to be your truth. They don't want that to be your action, your choice, your decision. But this is your life and your decision. You know what I mean? So this message is actually, I really love this damn message. Like, is everybody gonna approve? Will everybody be able to understand you? Imagine, right? Learning a foreign language. Would everyone be able to understand you? Especially those that only speak the language you currently speak? No. And I'm not talking about actually learning a foreign language here, but maybe some of you, yeah. This is like just the idea of that. Is everyone going to be on the same page with you? No. Nor will everyone that you are currently involved with, or a person you're currently involved with in whatever way, are they going to even have the same interest in it. And they don't have to. But they're definitely not going to understand you once you start speaking this new language. So change will have to occur. You may even prefer to speak in that language and never go back to your native language, as an example, right? There may be something when you realize you finally take that step, you finally put your foot in that door, you end up liking that better. You end up loving it better, loving them better, liking them better. You end up just being like, wow, this is perfect for me. This is a perfect fit for me. I'm so glad I actually decided to go ahead and do it and trust it and pursue it, whatever it is. It's a decision here. And other people they're just not going to understand. It's going to be foreign to them, and they're not going to try. They're just going to hope that they can keep you the same way that you were, or pull you right back. Some of them. Some of them will respect your journey, will respect your decisions, you know what I mean? Cross-watcher, Scorpio. And if you're like, this doesn't really resonate, I don't know really what you mean, then this is probably somebody on the outside of you that's going through this or considering it. Because right now what someone's doing is thoroughly examining or re-examining a situation. And change is going to absolutely happen. I embrace change. I love change. And I'm thinking that whoever clicked on this video, because it strongly feels like it, you probably embrace change too. You adapt very easily to things, even if it means you didn't want to. You were forced to. You still adapted. You may have ended up liking something better once you adapted to it and just kind of surrendered to the process, you know? Kind of reminds me when like people are forced to move, whether it's moving schedules in a job or moving actually a distance, whether it's children being like, I didn't want to move, Mom. I didn't want to move, Dad. I didn't want to have to move schools. And it's like, I know that you didn't want to, but eventually you're going to see that perhaps there is something more for you here. Sometimes things happen that we didn't want to happen, we weren't anticipating. And then the kids get there and they end up loving it, you know? Like it reminds me of Casper. Why am I saying Casper? The movie Casper. You know, she moves to a new school, doesn't she? She moves. And she hates it at first, but had she not moved, she wouldn't have met Casper and went on this wild ride. You know what I mean? What was her name? Could be a Gemini here for some of you, or specifics on love. Relationships and love here. It's been a while since I've seen this, so let's just kind of, something here about Casper. Okay. Or ghost, maybe even ghosting. Maybe someone here's been a little silent. They haven't known what to say. It's because they're figuring out what decision they need to make, or you are. Somebody is. What should I do? Because this whatever I do is going to change the trajectory of my life and maybe even the people's lives around me. The movie Casper Explained.
According to Casper the Friendly Ghost Wiki, fandom, according to the film, ghosts are souls of the deceased who have unfinished business on Earth. The reason Casper stayed behind as a ghost is explained to be the fact that he was needed to keep his grieving father company, but his father is now long dead, so there is no obvious reason for Casper to remain a ghost.
Could even be that someone here feels there's unfinished business, or that they're not done living their life. Like maybe someone here even feels, no, this isn't for everybody, what's popping in my head, that maybe they got married too young, or they did something too young, or they've done something too long. Like sometimes I use this reference when I'm talking about cosmetology, because I always thought that I would end up for the rest of my life being a cosmetologist. And legit, so much so that I tattooed that shit all the way down my side. Like I have stylist. I have stylist, same shit, tattooed from the top of my ribcage all the way down to my hip bone, like in large ass letters with the, I think it's the Y that is like scissors in color. Now, come on, now that's commitment. Somebody here committed to something, like went all the fucking way in, whether it's marrying somebody, whether it's, I don't know, did something all the way, paid a whole lot of money for it, signed on the dotted line for it, whatever they did, or you. And someone's now examining or re-examining a decision that they've made, something they've invested in, and they're like, you know what? Could even be a company. Could be a friendship, a partnership, something someone's bought. It's a permanent decision, but it doesn't have to be permanent. Like, how permanent is it? Because, I could get the shit removed. But also, it's part of me. It's part of my story. But I don't even sort of want to do hair anymore. Like, not for a job. I still do hair. I do my family's hair, friends' hair, and every now and then if people ask me to do hair, I'll do hair. I'll do weddings. I'll do makeup. But it's not something that I like. I don't want to be a cosmetologist. I don't want to have any labels, period. Reiki. I went out and got an entire Reiki master's. Like, spent money on the classes, took the classes. I have my certifications for Reiki 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, right? That's it. I don't even remember because I don't practice it. I mean, I practice Reiki, but I don't do it in a business. Like, I don't own a Reiki business. You see what I'm saying? So it's the idea of that. Like, something that someone here has invested in, or something that was just their identity, something they've always done, something that, they're shifting it here. You are another, or considering it. And something's caused someone to want to do this. Change. Maybe it's just change. People grow and change and just realize something that is or isn't for them anymore, or something that they want to tweak or something, something they don't want to do anymore. Shit happens. And maybe at first it's just difficult, and for a while it's difficult to adjust, because I think about, I'm going back to the Casper reference in that movie, and it took her a while to adjust to the new school, to the new house. Well, the house was haunted, yeah, there was that, and just a whole bunch of things. Adjust to all the fucking bullying at school and everything that she went through. But she adjusted, and more than that, realized, and even more so discovered more about herself in the process. Had she not been almost forced into a decision or forced into a move or something like that, right? She would have never ended up where she was, evolving the way that she had, Can I keep you? Can I keep you? Now, this could actually all be entirely a love message, like someone here who's realizing wherever they've been currently, whoever they've been around, whoever they've been with, if they've been with anyone, they're not where they want to be anymore. If someone's been single, they may be realizing, I don't want to be single anymore. I'm ready to, maybe someone's just telling the universe, I'm ready. I'm ready for love. India Ari. I'm ready for my person. If there is my person out there, if I have a person, I'm ready. Only if they're ready for me. Bring it on. And this may be the universe's way of saying, it's coming. They're coming. You hear the birds? Somebody here wants to know, can I keep you? Wasn't there a really good song also in that movie? It's like, every now and then, every now and then. Remember Me This Way by Jordan Hill. 1 second, guys. I'm getting a phone call from my daughter. Alright, guys. Sorry. Had to answer that. That was my baby girl. Here we go. Let's talk about this song real quick and then we'll go. Remember me this way. Every now and then, we find a special friend who never lets us down, who understands it all, reaches out each time we fall. You're the best friend that I've found. I know you can't stay. A part of you will never go away. Your heart will stay. I'll make a wish for you and hope it will come true, that life would be just kind to such a gentle mind. If you lose your way, think back on yesterday, remember me this way. It's almost like someone here is also letting go. Of course they are, because when change happens and you embrace something new, it takes away your focus on something that you've only been focused on. You see what I'm saying? So like when you start learning this foreign language, I keep using that as an example, you're not speaking your native language as much because your focus is here. So someone could be saying here, it's like a goodbye. Someone here is like saying goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying I love you. It's not that this, I don't love you. It's not that this didn't mean anything to me. It's not that we were never anything. It's not that you weren't special to me. Yes, absolutely. Like you were a part of this portion of my life, if this is a romantic type thing. Or it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be someone letting a family member go or a friend go. No, like you were, you know, or somebody who's giving up. Maybe somebody's been holding out hope for someone and they're realizing I can't wait for you forever. So I'm not mad at you. I have no right to be mad at you. You have a right to choose your own person. And if it's not me, it's not me. But someone here is saying, I've thought about it, I've examined it, or I've re-examined. And I want you to know that I'll always remember everything. I learned a lot. I don't want this to end poorly. I don't want to walk away poorly. It could be somebody leaving a job. But I've got to move forward in my life. And if you ever need me, I'm here. And I wish you well. But I'm ready to embrace love. I'm ready to embrace my life. I'm ready to embrace a new position, a new reality. I'm ready for change. I know it's not going to be easy. I know that you may not understand. Or some may be saying if it's new, I know you may think I'm mad at you or whatever. I'm not. I'm okay with letting go. I've reached a comfortable position in my life where I've thought about it enough and I know that this is what I need to do. This is what my heart is calling me to do. I'm ready to adjust my life, my circumstances, my situation. I know that you may not be ready for this. For some, that'll be the case. And I just ask that you remember me this way. And maybe it's going to be hard for you to understand up front, but eventually I hope that you get to a place where you can respect my decision and understand that it's something that I had to do for me. And I hope that you know in your own life you can make your own decisions and that you should. To others it may seem selfish, to others they may feel like you're taking something from them, but you're living your life, which is what you came here to do. People get hurt, things happen. We came here to discover why we're here. Some will get comfortable in positions and situations and relationships and they'll stay that way forever, and maybe they're meant to. And others of us, we came here to adapt and to change and to learn things while we are where we are, and once we learn them, move forward and move on. Alright guys, thank you for being here. Mama! Come here, Mama! I guess that's my cue. It's time to go. Well, that just snapped me out of it. I feel like someone's gonna like just snap out of it. It's gonna be like boom. It's like overnight almost. Somebody just snaps out of it. Because you see how deep I was into that, and it was just like boom. It's like a wake up. Like a just alarm bell is going off and someone's like, I have to do this. This is something I have to do. Alright guys, love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.